What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka the Environmental Terrorist, coming at y'all once again live and correct. And yes, I'm actually really shaving my goatee because for the most part, I actually like looking, somewhat presentable when I actually really do a show. So, today's topic, Colin Kaepernick got sports. Now, if you actually really pay attention to how I actually really did the word sports, I actually really did it as an acronym because once again, I am a retired Army veteran. Every time that I would actually really have to go out to a range, regardless of what range that it was, meaning if it was an M16 range, M9 range, M203 range, a 50 cal range, whatever fucking range it was, right? Uh, Weapons malfunction. So basically, what was told to us, or what was taught to us, is that once your weapon jammed, you had to perform an action called sports, which means stop, pull, observe, release, tap, shoot. So, with that being said, Colin Kaepernick, right, he got sportsed because he was playing professional football. And he was actually really doing pretty good for the most part. Then, for whatever reason, his performance started to fall off. And then, once your performance starts to fall off for whatever reason, because in the National Football League, right, what do they always say? You got to have both offensive weapons as well as defensive weapons. So once your weapon is actually like not doing what the fuck it's supposed to do, whether it's on offense or defense, what do you as the head coach or the higher office do? You stop that player in their tracks. Once you stop them, you pull their ass off the court or off the field. You observe or you ask questions. What the fuck is your problem? Right? Then, if you can actually really go in there and correct it quick, fast, in a hurry, right? After the conversation has happened, once you actually really figure out what the fuck is going on, then you release him or put him back into the field of play. But before you do that, you either go tap him on the shoulder, tap him on his ass, or shoot or send his ass back out there in the field of fire. So I say all that to say this. Kaepernick was good in his first year or whatever year that he actually really just ran all kind of crazy over the Packers in the playoff game. So for the most part, it's just for the fact that just because what the fuck he did in the playoff game, they actually really thought, okay, well, hey, he's gonna be the real deal, right? But the following season, this motherfucker falls off for whatever reason. But the thing about it though is this though, people, right? Does a professional athlete really fall off, right? Or did sports actually really get performed on there? And the only reason why I say that now, a lot of motherfuckers be like, okay, well, you only perform sports when you're not actually really going or doing what the fuck you need to do. Well, it's just for the simple fact that just because of what the fuck I just told you, is the main reason why sports is actually like really put in place. Because you're not doing what the fuck you supposed to be doing according to the higher ups. So again, with this whole Nike deal, or the main reason why he actually really stopped playing football, or he got cut for football, however you actually really want to look at it, right? That just know that he got stopped and what the fuck he was doing. They pulled him off to the side. They observed his ass, right? When they observed him, this is when Nike came up to him and said, okay, well, look, what the fuck are you actually really trying to do here? And then so he actually really comes out and say, well, hey, look, I don't like what the fuck that the police doing towards people of color. But it's just like what I didn't say it here, but I actually really said it on my Facebook page, right? He said, well, I don't like how the police treat people of people of color. Well, every goddamn thing is a color, right? So-called black, so-called white, those are goddamn colors, right? Or so-called, well, I'm not going to sit up here and say so-called penny color because I am goddamn penny color. But whatever the fuck you actually really want to look at it as, I'm a goddamn color, right? And just for anybody else that is opposite of me, right? You are a person of color. So for the most part, you have to ask yourself, okay, where the fuck Colin Kaepernick was going with this? And so Nike saw this. Nike, God is a victory. You're God. So you know what the fuck is going on. Right? So Phil Knight comes in, offer him this doggone deal, right? And acts like totally and completely changes him for what the fuck he was actually really talking about. He was talking about police brutality at one point, but at the same time, right? What does a god or what does a goddess do? Or should I say, what does a god that for the most part really ain't for the right intentions do? Or what does a goddess do for the most part is not in the right intentions? What do they do? Right? They know what the fuck you talking about. They know what you actually really standing up against. Right? So basically what happened is this, yeah, you know what? We hear what you're saying, but guess what? This is what the fuck we want you to say. We want you to be able to say, are your dreams crazy enough? Right? We want you to actually really be able to say, okay, well, sacrifice everything, or believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. So guess what the fuck you just did? These motherfuckers, as a god or as a goddess, right? They actually really had you to sacrifice the one thing that you was actually really fighting for, right? Police brutality against people of color. Well, goddamn, everybody has a color about themselves. So where the fuck you actually really going with this? Like, really? So that's why the fuck the commercial happened. So enough of that bonus material. Kavanaugh, finna be doggone, or the potential of him being doggone Supreme Court justice or whatever. But the thing about it though is this, right? This happened. This just happened to happen the same time where Cosby had his trial, and that he is in so-called prison, which I know the fuck he ain't, right? But the thing about it though is this though, people, you know, both of these two individuals, right, are actually really getting convicted of what they did 30 years plus. 30 years plus or 40 years plus. Well, if you actually really stop and look at the numbers, right, then you already know that this is bullshit, right? You know, you gotta look at it like this, right? A person that makes the laws will always get off scot-free because they making the laws, right? Because the thing about it though is this: Brett Kavanaugh and people like him, right, make the laws. So yeah, they gonna get away with the law because they actually really created the goddamn law. So what the fuck do you actually really expect, right? So then when you have somebody like a Bill Cosby, right, that actually really want to go about the law, right, but he can never act like him or anybody else, right, can actually like really never go about the law because they didn't create the law, or they actually like really weren't in position to actually like stopping the bill for where it won't become a law, right? This is no different than what the fuck that happened with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. When you make the law, they have, by law, they have to actually like really put that shit out to the general public where that you can actually like really see what the fuck is going to become a law, right? And then it's up to you, y'all, us, to actually like really be able to say, okay, do we really want this to be a law, or are we gonna say hell the fuck no, change that shit and come up with a better law? So basically, that's all what the fuck that happened to Bill Cosby, right? He is a victim of a law or laws where that, for the most part, he had all goddamn day long to actually really speak against of what would have been become a law, but he too busy making motherfucking money, just like the rest of us. Although a lot of us ain't gonna make Bill Cosby money, but it's just for the simple fact that you raggedy motherfuckers out there too busy watching Love and Hip Hop and all that other shit that you really ain't got no time to actually really study the goddamn law, right? That's why motherfuckers are in the position that they are in now. Now, am I saying that Cosby is guilty? No, I'm not. I told y'all that earlier. Bill Cosby is not in motherfucking prison, right? What you saw was nothing more than a goddamn ritual according to the law. The law is a motherfucker. Plain and simple. And y'all motherfuckers ain't figured that shit out yet. Anyway, that's all what the fuck I gotta say about Bill Cosby. That's all what the fuck I gotta say about Colin Kaepernick and Brett Kavanaugh. These motherfuckers, they either prospered or they suffered by the goddamn law. Now, whether you actually really want to like accept it as fact, oh well. Really don't know what the fuck to actually really think about you. But the thing about though is this: if you actually really stop and think about it, then guess what? We are all victims of the law, because nobody actually really want to stop and think and study the goddamn law. So, with that being said, this is Apollos Harris, aka the environmental terrorist, with another show. Leave your comments below, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later.